Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Silver Rudder 2024. Next to me is Peter Corning. Welcome, Peter. Great to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You've come here to watch your boats race. When I say your boats, you are Peter Corning of the Corning family Dragonflies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And your dad Jens is out there racing today.
Yes, he is. Yes, that's very fortunate for him. Yeah, yeah. I would love to be there this year, but yeah.
Well, he probably thinks that he can advertise his boats better than you can. You have to beat him racing.
Yes. Yeah, I'll try next time.
It's great to have you here, Peter.
Thank you.
Peter, the plan for today is you and I are going to talk about the starts. We're going to talk about the small starts and the large multi-hull starts.
Yeah.
We've got 14 multi-hull starting in total, which is, 17, I'm sorry, which is a very different amount compared to the huge amounts of mono-hulls.
Yeah.
Now, just briefly, why is it that there aren't more multi-hulls sailing around in Northern Europe?
Why there's more multi-hulls?
No, why there aren't anymore.
Okay.
They're amazing boats, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's because it looks different. It's a different way of sailing. It's to sail a monohull. It's maybe seems easier. It doesn't. It seems more safe. A lot of people firsthand think trimarans are dangerous to sail, or multi-hulls in general. But and then there's also the question about how much room there's inside the boats, where you just get more living area on a monohull.
But the benefits of a multi-hull is that you get everywhere twice the speed.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're ultra light. So they're not big, heavy, chunky boats, sail-wise.
Exactly.
Boat handling, they're much easier, aren't they?
No, I would say it's close to be the same. All the lines are led back to cockpit on our boats. That's very important for us. So you can control everything from the cockpit. So it's not because it's more difficult to handle than a monohull. It's close to being the same.
I actually said I thought they'd be easier to handle.
Yeah.
But because the sail area, even though it's a huge, great big mainsail, the boat is generally lighter. The boat accelerates so much better, so you don't have the huge force against the sail area.
But then you have a little bit more pressure in the sails because you have this high righting moment. So you have in general more power in multi-hulls than you have on monohulls because they heel and then the power kind of goes a little bit off.
So let me just explain what that means to people. So, So when a boat has a high righting moment, it means that it has a form stability.
Yeah.
When a multi-hull heels over, the leeward float, that's a float on the opposite side of the wind, stops the boat from capsizing, and then the boat accelerates, basically, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas a keel boat would have a keel, which would have, a weight stability, not just a form stability.
Yes, exactly.
That was the 6 minutes for the start.
Yeah.
We'll get back to your boats. We'll get back to Corning and to the Dragonflies in just a second.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about the boats that are on the course today. Yeah.
Yes. Now we have the small multi-hull group preparing for their start. Here we have 3 Dragonfly 25 Sports, so they will definitely have a good race around the course against each other because they are close to being the same boat. Then we have we also have we have Anders Bastiansen on the DM24. It's also a one design boat built in France.
What does one design boat? What does one design boat mean?
That actually means that there are a set of rules around sailing this boat to keep them similar. So they are they are as close as being identical. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so that's the idea about one design.
Okay, so the boat's identical. The sail area is pretty much identical.
It is identical. Yeah. Yeah.
That was the 5-minute warning for the start of these small multi-hulls at the Silver Rudder. So you said you got to Anders Bastiansen, the Down 24.
Then we have 3 farriers joining the race. Also 2 farriers F82s, and then we also have a farrier F25C. So yeah, they will also have a very, very great race. It's a great group of boats here that can be close together during the whole circumnavigation.
Let's talk about the one at the top of the list there, Christopher Kidborn. He's sailing his Corsair Dash 750. And he's an interesting guy. He's sailing a pink boat.
Yeah.
He's a really colourful guy. Last year he dove all the way down from Sweden.
Yes.
And he actually did a really, really cool film about the Silver Rudder. He flew his drone to the North Funen, he rented a boat and was filming from here. An amazing Swedish accent in his commentary. I love that guy. You know, Christopher, it's great to see you on the water. If you get to see this film, it's great to see you on the water participating. I actually wanted to Shanghai him to do some reporting coverage, some reporting for us because he's got a talent for it. I can actually see him just down there.
Exactly.
So let's talk about Anders Bastiansen. This is his, I think, it's their third race in the small boat in the Diam, isn't it?
It's the second, from what I remember. Yeah.
And he's raced all classes.
Yes, he has. Yeah. So he has quite some experience. He's a very, very skilled sailor. He is actually also I know him quite well because he has worked at Dragonfly for 14 years.
Yeah, that's right.
So he is definitely a very skilled sailor. Very, very.
Is that Anders? We can see the far.
With the black the black mane and the white jib and with an orange mast.
We'll just get Mess to zoom into the opposite side of the Svendborg Sound. There you go. That's him. That's him. On the screen
exactly,
there. That's Anders Bastiansen in his Diam 24.
Yes.
Anybody can see that. Can see it's a very, very ultralight boat. It's got nowhere you can actually sit and have a cup of coffee.
Nothing.
It's a very open boat.
Yeah.
It's a try, so it's a lot more stable than a catamaran, which is the reason why a boat like that is allowed to participate. How would that boat compare to your dad's Dragonfire, the red racing machine that he has?
Oh, that's still two different boats. This boat is still glass fiber construction, so the only carbon parts on the boat is actually the mast profile itself. So in strong winds, he can follow Dragonfire, but because Dragonfire is crazy in strong winds, so it's really difficult to handle, especially single-handed. But in light winds, the boat is a little bit under-rigged. Let's
look at this boat in the front of the. Well, let's take the red one first.
Yeah.
The red one that goes a little bit to the right there, please. If you go to the right, Mass. And follow the red. You can't because of the trees, but that's a Dragonfly 25. We'll have to go back there. We've got a good drone picture there instead. Yeah. So if we talk about the boat that we just had in the picture, which would be the Farrier, isn't that a Farrier?
Yes, it is. That's what is that's.
It would be the Farrier 25.
Yeah, that's Ulf Roskamp. That's the one with the orange bows. He's actually built the boat himself. It took him. I just talked to him yesterday about it, and it took him 12 years to build the boat.
Oh,
so
amazing!
He built it himself, and that's the whole idea behind this Farrier concept. That you can buy the drawings and go build them back in your shed.
Incredible.
Go back and forth as you like, no stress. So
you sort of rent the plugs for the floats on the main hull, or do you know?
Exactly how it works, I don't know, but you get the drawings, and then there's kind of a recipe how you go forward to build the boat, and you can choose the materials you like to use and so on. So
1 minute to the start of the small multi-hulls, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll just go back to the Corsair. The picture we can see here, Peter, on the screen is the drone photos. You can see the windward mark here, the leeward mark. To the left there, you've got a couple of spectator boats. You've got also our photo boat there, which will be taking good shots of the start as they come across. Where would you start today, Peter? I mean, you're a racer as well. 30 seconds to the start. You've got wind probably about 60 degrees on your port bow. You know how high to the wind these boats can go.
Yeah, it's of course you don't want to be in shelter of any of the other boats. Now it's an advantage here for them for this group that there's not a lot of boats on the line. So I would say the most important, if I was racing, is just to have a good track, where you are in free air. So and then come as close to the starting line as possible.
That was the start of the small multi-hull Silver Rudder 2024. One must say that's a very conservative start.
It is.
But look at the speed of those boats accelerate. Look at the Dragonfly 25 and the Diam 24 with Anders Bastiansen on it.
Looks fantastic.
I mean, they've gone literally from 2 knots to 8 to 12 knots in seconds.
Yeah.
That's what makes these boats fun. And ladies and gentlemen out there, if you're thinking about buying a boat, try this. It is so addictive. It really is.
It's so addictive, and makes so much fun, and still it goes fast, but it's so smooth. The boats are still calm, even though it seems a little bit fast. It's really, really enjoyable to sail this kind of boats, also single-handed.
I mean, all wind is directly converted to acceleration. The boats accelerate so much faster, as we saw on the starting line, compared to a monohull where there's a lot of work. There's a big chunky keel to have to get through the water. These boats have got next to no displacement whatsoever, which means there's next to nothing below the hull itself, if that makes sense. There's no keel on a lot of these boats. Let's look at the boat there with the. There you go. You've got Johan there on the dime.
No, that's Anders.
That's Anders Bastians. We'll just pass you over to Johan. Johan, there's a lot of wind now. These boats are going really fast. There you go. All yours.
Yeah, these boats are going very, very fast indeed. But look at it. It looks crazy fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. That's Anders Bastians, who's raced in every class.
Yeah, I heard, and that's just really impressive. But he must know everything about it, also working with the dragonflies. He looks like an experienced guy. I think these boats are going to have a tremendous race. It's going to be interesting to see, because I don't know, they might have a little bit of trouble keeping it down around here where we saw some of the other boats have to tack earlier. So we'll see if they'll be able to keep it or they'll have to tack. I suspect they'll have to tack. Look at it, up on the leeward pontoon there, just flying away. That's amazing.
I don't know if you can see at the bottom. I mean, if you just see the boat lifting out of the water there, ladies and gentlemen, once in a while you see that boat has no displacement, it doesn't have a keel, you just have a centerboard, just like a dinghy. So if you're racing an OK dinghy or a 505 or whatever, ladies and gentlemen, you may have raced in the past, that's all you've got here, basically just a dagger board, which maintains, it doesn't provide any righting moment, all it does is provides course stability. So it stops the boat sort of from slipping to leeward as the boat moves. Amazing, those are amazing shots, Johan. Well done. If you stop becoming an engineer, you can become a film photographer.
Yeah. It's definitely a career path I'll consider. I mean, we're sailing really fast at the moment. My best guess is like 12 to 14, 15, maybe knots. So we're really fine out here in the front with Anders. Further down the pack, we'll go down in a second and show you. Also,
do that.
Really nice.
Move down the fleet a bit, so he doesn't have to stress that you're right up on you're almost chopping away at his rudder. We've got a drone picture of the leading boats, and we can see you guys actually. We're actually see the rib from the air. Got amazing shots here. This is absolutely brilliant coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to remind you that we are just a bunch of amateurs doing some coverage of the biggest single-handed sailing race in the world. We do all this voluntarily, and we think it's great fun, but this is why. I mean, just look at the quality of those films and pictures. We should have got those ribs to do some synchronous circles on the water there. That's absolutely beautiful. Let's go down and look at this boat in front of us there. What's the next boat there, Peter, do you think? Can you see what it is?
Yeah,
it looks like a Valier.
That's the Farrier F82 with Andre Betts as the helmsman. He's also... This is also a Farrier, so he hasn't built it himself, but he bought it second hand. But he has been building the whole rig himself, so the whole mast section he has produced himself.
Oh, really?
And the boom.
He's actually laid out the carbon fiber himself.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Again,
wow.
That's the philosophy about this Farrier community. Yeah. So a fast boat. He even extended the floats himself also to get more buoyancy.
To make them longer, to more buoyancy.
And more buoyancy.
Let's talk about this boat. This is one of yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's one of yours.
Yeah. That's Rüdiger Schwarz on Gecko. That's a 25 Sport. You can see he almost lifts the center hull there. The boat is where the point where it's actually quite fast. If you lift the main hull completely, it's possible, but you just get too much power. So he's sailing it perfectly.
So when the center hull and the windward float are out of the water and is just resting on the leeward float, can the boat actually maintain the necessary stability there?
Yeah, sure, no problem. But the boat is not. That's not where the boat is fast. Not our 25 here.
So where do we want the main hull?
Just in the water. Just in
literally,
the water.
So with as little water resistance as possible?
Yes, exactly.
So does this have a keel of any kind?
It has a swinging centerboard, which actually kicks up by itself if you hit a ground. So that's also a safety prospect that we have on our boats.
That's really useful, isn't it?
Definitely.
In a race like this.
Yeah, definitely. So as you can see, I think maybe it's one of the first start with no boats on, on the ground.
I haven't looked down the sound, but you're right. That's a good feature, isn't it?
Definitely, and it's really good for people staying safe. Yeah.
I wonder if those boats are going to have to tack in order to make it through the sound. It looks like they're sort of being pushed slightly to leeward, doesn't it?
I think once they've crossed the past the corner down here, I think they have to make a short tack.
Yeah, then they'll have to tack.
But it's only for 1 or 2 minutes.
So how fast are these boats going to be going once they pass the reef of Turu and can start going up the east coast of Funen? When they start,
depending on the wind out there right now, I'm not sure how much wind there is out there because. But
about
if
15 knots, we believe.
Then they can potentially do 15 knots of boat speed. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because they can ease off a little bit of the main and on the jib, and if they're lucky, they can even roll out the Code Zero.
So these boats, they primarily use Code Zero, so they also have larger downwind kites like what we would call A2s and A3s.
They have A2s, so as an asymmetric Jenica, easy to handle. So the Code Zero is mostly a light wind sails, but when you do reaching legs, you can use it for these kind of legs.
Let's talk about this green boat in the picture here. The picture that Johan and Petra and Katrina and Annette are taking from our rib out there.
Also a Dragonfly 25 Sport, helmed by Brian from Horsens. And then we have Christopher Kidsborn in his Corsair Dash 750, right in front of him. That's the guy you talked about from Sweden.
Yes.
Let's
talk about Brian. Yeah. That's Brian Kjærsgaard Nielsen, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is his brother still racing against him?
I don't know actually.
Because I remember one year where they were racing against each other.
That was, but I don't know if his brother is here this time.
No, it doesn't look like it's just Brian this year.
Yeah.
And his dad, their dad always comes down here. And he stands there in the meeting point all night following his son.
That's not, there's 2 Brians. So that's Alan and Brian, you mean.
That's right.
They are starting in the next start.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is another Brian.
my mistake, because the 2 brothers there, I mean, they've been coming back here for years.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah, there you go. Brian and Alan Tunnison, that's
exactly.
right. In the Maldives 32 and a foul year 31.
Exactly.
We'll talk about them in due course. Let's look at the mainsail of Christopher's boat.
Yeah.
Johan, can you just go down to the pink and white boat on your right-hand side, on your starboard side?
Yeah.
There you go, thank you. Look at that mainsail, Johan. What do you think? Looks like he's been in the war, but you have to be careful these days. What happened to what happened to his mainsail?
I would definitely say that we're looking at an experienced sailor here. I'll just ask him what happened. What happened to the mainsail? Everything. He says everything.
We can hear him. Brilliant. Yeah. It looks like he's had a tough voyage down here. Well, he's a really, really cool guy, Christopher. We'll look forward to seeing him and how he performs. That isn't the fastest of the boats on the course, is it, Peter?
If what again?
It isn't the fastest of the boats on the course, is it? It's the smallest of the multi-hulls, isn't it?
I think it's 750, it's 7.5 meters long, so it's quite close to our Dragonfly 25s and the Dragonfly 800 also participating. So no, he had the potential to do well.
Okay.
But the farriers might be faster. Yeah.
What, are they lighter, do you think?
They are lighter. Yeah. In general and compared to the sail area. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk about the new 36 that you're building.
Yeah.
Now we've got a short break. Once in a while I'll probably interrupt you.
That's okay.
We can look at the really cool pictures on the screen. Just a couple of minutes. What can the 36 do that the 28 and the 40 can't do?
Performance-wise, it will be close to the same. So it's more like it's a new size. We have thought out the whole swing wing system in a new way. So all stainless steel hinges that we use for the swing wing system to fold the boat in and out is made in a new way. So it's only composites with a bolt through the wing and the bulkhead. So to save weight, time production, and also to save money for the customer in the end. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So
I heard that the floats had like a negative bow, just like the main hull.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the performance of the boat?
That's the new thing about the 36. It is the first Dragonfly with a negative bow on the main hull. We've never done that before. So that means that you will get more buoyancy in the front of the boat, which means that you can potentially push the boat even more when going downwind.
And maintaining a long waterline.
Yes.
Compared to the boats that have a positive
Exactly.
Great, smart, clever.
Yeah. So and it's also to give it a more modern touch. So there's two elements in it. So we really.
I'm going to interrupt you a minute, just a second, Peter. Look at that fantastic, brilliant from our drone. I mean, that's absolutely great film footage. If you want to sell your house on tour, ladies and gentlemen, this is the way to do it. I mean, you've got a Dragonfly 25. Is that Gecko?
That's Gecko, yeah. That's Rudiger.
Yeah, and that's the Farrier 28.
No, that's the Dragonfly 800, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So the much older model.
Yeah.
And he's in front of the new one.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Still
well
going
done.
strong. Yeah.
Great. And look at the amazing background. There's Truro Boatyard in the background. They're passing the what would be the westernmost point of Truro. And that's the old the fish smokery, the yellow building there, and the brand new house in the background. As they come to the left and round the corner, they'll be able to slack off their sheets, and then they'll be going a little bit faster until they again have to go upwind to the Truro Reef, when they can slack off again and get full speed down the east coast of Funen. And all the boats will be looking forward to that.
Definitely.
Talk about what you can see here.
Yeah, it seems like this ferry are having a hard time passing through the leeward side of the Dragonfly 25. So you can see they are racing against each other here. It's going to be interesting to see once they cross the corner over here, if they have to make this short tack, or if they can keep it in one tack. We will see shortly. But I think they have to make a tack.
You know these waters quite well, I can tell, because you're right. If they go too far to the starboard now, they'll be going off to the reef where the big oak tree is. Sounds very lug-nod, yeah. The fishing is fantastic there, but it's not a good place to put your boat aground when you're doing 10 knots. What would happen if a Dragonfly like yours were to go aground, these speeds? I'm guessing that the green 25 there is probably doing, I don't know, I'm guessing 9 to 11 knots, something like that. Yeah. What would happen if it were to go aground?
The sensor board will simply just kick up, and then you hear a sound. Of course, it will make a small bang, and then it actually comes up by itself. It's made out of a foam core, so it actually floats. It's lighter than the water, floats up into the boat, and then of course you have to make a tack. Otherwise,
of course. And you also have to inspect it. I mean, there is a risk that if you hit a rock, that you will chip the center board, of course.
Yeah, but
it's not going to break off.
No, it's not going to break off, and you maybe get scratches. We even developed this the spring-loaded cleat ourselves. So it's designed to if it has too much force on the center board, it will simply just kick up. So
Smart.
Just a couple of scratches.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Let's leave the drone picture for the time being there, if we can, and go to the starting line here. Okay, this is great. We've got some great shots there from our rib, and we might as well enjoy these amazing pictures of the small multi-hulls, Silver Rudder 2024. With the next 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to lose sight of them because they're just so fast. They'll be out of the sound, and then we'll look to enjoy the large starts at the Silver Rudder. That's the large multi-hulls, 28 feet above. We've got 2 absolutely amazing 40-foot performance boats. You can see them in the camera here now. There's an X332 with Nils and Britt on board in the way of our really nice shot. If you go a bit further to the left there, Mads, and you can see the blue, or I'm not sure if it really is blue. It's sort of bluey-grey blue. Talk to us about that boat, Peter. The boat that we can see on our screen now.
This is the Dragonfly 40C Performance, which tells that it's our carbon version of the Dragonfly 40. So we make the boat in this carbon version and a normal glass fiber version. For the carbon version here, you save 1 ton of boat weight. The main hull, the complete main hull itself, is still glass fiber, but wings, floats, bulkheads are in carbon fiber. So that gives around 10 to 15% extra boat speed to save this kind of weight. So it's going to be interesting to see now that there's 2 of them how they will race against each other and who will come out as the first boat.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see. I've got to say, your father's probably raced multi-hulls more than any other Danish sailor.
Yeah.
The only person who could possibly have raced more miles in multi-hulls is Jan Andersen.
Yeah.
We almost forgot about him. Now, Jan, I know you're going to watch this. I don't think you're a multimedia freak. I think you're far too cool to just sit there staring at your phone. You're on the way on the Canary Islands on Black Marlin now. We're going to miss you. in this weather, I don't think anybody's going to take your records. It'll be there for you when you come back next year.
Yes.
But well, let's talk about him. Yeah, you know, Jan built his own, designed and built his own boat.
Yes.
He's been a rocket, and he's won every single year.
Yeah.
So in some respects,
almost. Yeah, almost. Yeah. My when my dad did with the Dragonfire, he came first. But yes, Jan definitely is a very, very good sailor and has done a great job with Black Marlin. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, the reason why we started talking about Black Marlins, we talked about who's likely to win and who's likely to complete the race. It's very likely that the two 40s, the true Dragonfly 40 performance, are going to be the first two boats to pass the finishing line, don't you think?
It really depends on the wind during the night. The disadvantage for these two boats is that they have to go under the main bridge in the Great Belt. They can't go underneath the lower bridge, and that is a disadvantage for these boats.
Of course, because they have to go a bit further.
They have to go further. They cannot sail in direct line to northern Funen. They have to go in the middle of Great Belt first. So. That's a disadvantage.
Just to interrupt you, the boat that we can just see going the wrong way, unfortunately, is John in his X 4.9 that we visited last year. You know, fully electric boat. He grounded on the opposite side there just after the start, which is a real shame. His boat is called Flux. Absolutely amazing boat, which is what we call a hybrid. It's powered by batteries and two electrical motors, and it has a generator and a diesel tank, so you can literally charge the batteries in order to maintain power. I mean, having a generator which runs on diesel is a sort of bit like contradicts the whole point of having batteries, but you can't have a boat of that size stopping because you don't have more energy. How are Corning likely to build boats that are battery powered?
Yeah, we've done quite a lot actually, but so we have built 3 of the 40s now as a hybrid setup. So yes, and for our kind of boats, for trimarans, it really makes good sense because you can regenerate with a server prop, so you can actually regenerate better on a boat that goes faster, because then
So what does a server prop mean? Because there are people out there that think you've just gone mad.
It simply just means that you have this possibility to regenerate the power from the propeller being out, so kind of like a hydro generator.
Okay, brilliant. So basically, just like when a car that recharges its battery when it brakes, this boat charges its battery when the propeller is rotating, when the boat is sort of like in neutral, or while the boat is sailing under sail. The propeller rotates and charges the batteries like a dynamo.
You can say it's exactly. It's a kind of a windmill under the water.
Yeah. Great. Now let's look at this. Who's this guy?
That's my father, Jens Corning. Last year, Peter Lang sailed this boat, and now he thinks he can do it better, I guess. So
I was going to say, is it any reflection of Peter's sailing abilities that your dad's decided to take the helm this year?
He better answer that, but I can imagine. No, Peter did great. He did really great.
He did indeed. Yeah, we enjoyed interviewing both of you last year. It was fun. So we're excited to see how Jens does against Jens in the 240s. That's going to be fun. Yeah. Now the other Jens is a local guy, and your dad's come down from Skærbæk, which isn't that far either on a boat.
No, that's not.
So let's go back to talking about the 36 now. You said that it has these negative main hull and negative floats, which basically increases the water length, and it also increases the stability. Yeah, exactly. What else? And you've got this smart hinging system, which we look forward to see. Yeah. Is the boat going to be finished so that we'll see it at the Silverado start next year?
Yes.
Do you think they'll finally let you race it?
We'll see. If you think I can do it good, I hope I can go sailing next year for the Silverado in the 36. But otherwise for the 36, we have taken all the good stuff from the 40 that we have learned from that boat when we developed that boat. That's the newest model we have right now. So we took all the good parts that we learned from that boat and put it into this Dragonfly 36. So we have kept this twin wheel cockpit where you can pass through the cockpit, have these workstations right next to the helmsman position. So you have all lines led back, so when you have crew on board, they can sit relaxed in front of the cockpit. So these
same as the 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you basically completely. So those who would like to see the layout of the 40, go and see the Silver Rudder films that we've done this year and last year. You can see a really, really cool open cockpit. I mean, surprisingly big cockpit.
Yeah.
You know, it's as big as a cockpit on any 36 or 38 foot monohull boat. In fact, it's bigger than mine. So check them out.
It's a fantastic cockpit, and that's why we also have decided to bring that into the 36. So of course more compromised because it's a smaller boat. That's logic, but still it's going to be fantastic.
Compact, you mean more compact?
More compact,
yeah. I understand. Yeah. So how many people can a boat like that sleep?
You can sleep 6 people there if you like. Of course that's tight, but it's possible to sleep 6 grown-ups inside the boat. So it's suitable for 4, and for longer trips it's for a couple. Yeah.
Nice.
But so it's great for. It's going to be a great performance cruiser. Really comfortable cruising boat. Yeah.
Okay, Peter, we're going to take about 4 minutes of time out. And ladies and gentlemen, Peter and I are just going to have a quick glass of water, lubricate our throats just before the exciting start, our last start of the Silver Rudder 2024. We'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.